Okay, so we're going to look at two different ways you can change color on the granny square blanket. We're going to do first the hard way and then the easy way. And the only reason I'm doing it in that order is because there's a couple different times you may switch colors when you're making this kind of a blanket. And the ideal time to change colors is at your special corner. But the other time you may change colors is at any other corner. And since this blanket is full of color, I have the option to change colors at different corners, and so that's what I've done so far, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm changing from this yellowish white down to this this green, and then at the special corner we're going to switch to the blue, and I'm going to show you how you usually change color. You would only do it this difficult way if you chose to change at a corner that is not the special corner, which is what I'm doing, and you may want to do that, and so that's why I want to teach you how. But we're at the corner here, and we're halfway through the corner. We've got 3 double crochets, and as you remember from my other videos, hopefully, or if you just know how to make a granny square blanket, you would put 3 double crochets and then chain 2 and then another 3 double crochets in each corner. That's how a corner works, except for the special corner. That's different. Now, if all this is unfamiliar to you, skip back over to my channel and watch the video on how to make a granny square blanket, because if you're wanting to change colors, you first need the foundation of how to do the blanket itself. So assuming you know how to do that, what I'm going to do is half of my corner, approximately 50%. I've done 3 double crochets and 1 of my chains. And then from there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this end, leaving myself about 4 or 5 inches. And the reason I'm leaving myself that much is so that I can weave it in later, because that's important. If you cut yourself ends that are too short, you can't weave them in later, and it will look pretty bad. So leave yourself enough room to put yourself a tapestry needle on there and weave it in, and then with that end hanging off, I'm going to take my new end and I'm going to hold it like this, and I'm going to continue crocheting as if this was the only end I ever had. So I'm going to sort of ignore this end, attempting to leave it tight. I'm going to do sort of a slip stitch, if you will. I'm going to bring this around my fingers and do the X and create a new stitch on here, and then pulling it through my old stitch becomes the second chain in our corner. So that's where we are right now. We've done 2 chains in our corner, and we're ready to do the next 3 double crochets, and you just hold these extra 2 ends back here as tight as you can so that it will stay tight and neat as you work on. So I'm going to do my first double crochet, and as I did that, these ends loosened up. My connection point loosened up, so I tightened them again. You can even hold on to them if you want, but we're going to do 3 double crochets in total, so that in the end, half of our corner is yellow and half of it's green. Now, this is not the easiest way to change colors, and it just happens to be that that's what I'm doing at this point, but the easiest way is going to be down here at the special corner when we switch to this navy blue. So I'm going to work a row of regular double crochets and 3 double crochets in each hole, and I'm going to be back in just a moment to show you how to switch colors at the special corner. Okay, so I just worked a row of this green yarn, and I'm going to show you how to change corners here at the special corner. Now, remember, I'm working off of the assumption that you already know what you're doing with the granny square, so if you're for some reason trying to watch this video and do it, but you're confused as to what I'm doing here, skip back to my channel and watch the video on how to do a granny square blanket. But anyway, assuming that you know how to work the special corner, I'm going to show you how to switch from this green to this beautiful navy blue. Now, you do just like you would on a regular row without changing colors. You work 3 double crochets in the hole right before it, and I'm working around ends here because of how many times I've changed colors. I've got lots of tails on my blanket, all of which I weave in at the end with a tapestry needle. So I've worked 3 double crochets now in the hole before my special corner, and then what I do here is I chain 2 and then I do the slip stitch into the red corner, and then so slip, and then instead of continuing by chaining 3, I'm going to cut it right here with about 5 inches to spare, and then I'm going to pretend like I'm casting off. So I just pull it right through and seal it off. So that end is done, and then the way I would continue I'm going to come over here and almost treat this like the beginning of a totally different project. I'm going to do a slip knot, and I'm going to get myself a hook. I'm going to get myself a stitch on my hook, and then I'm going to do a slip stitch directly into the blanket. So just like I did here before, I'm going to reach in to the same hole I made earlier, and then I'm going to grab that, pull through, and pull through. And you can tighten up with all your edges and all your ends, all your spare ends, and then I'm going to treat it like a regular special corner. I'm going to chain 3, I'm going to do 2 double crochets in the hole I just made. And it is okay after you change colors to crochet over the tail ends 1 or 2 times, because it locks them into the blanket. But I'm not going to do that now because I would be working directly over red and that wouldn't match very well. But now that I've done my special corner, you can chain 1, set your ends aside, and then just move on like normal. So that's much easier than the other corner if you're looking to change colors. If you're new to the granny square blanket, I would encourage you to only switch here at the special corner, but if you're daring, by all means try the other corners and have fun with all the different colors. I hope that helped. Please feel free to go to my channel and check out the other videos there, a lot of crochet videos and just other insightful practical life skills. Please feel free to subscribe to be on the lookout for new videos and to comment below if you have any questions. Thanks!